Borneo is the third largest island on Earth and home to one of the world's oldest tropical rainforest ecosystems. This incredible island is one of the most biodiverse places in the world and home to thousands of species, many of them found nowhere else on Earth. Last March, I joined an excursion to Sabah in northeastern Borneo as a part of my master's program in environmental sciences. We stayed at a remote research station in the middle of the rainforest, far from the nearest cities and roads. And for 2 weeks, we lived surrounded by dense forest and an abundance of wild animals. This video is an attempt to provide a glimpse into the tropical rainforest of Borneo, a glimpse of the animals, the plants, the rivers, and the forest itself, a place teeming with life, older than we can imagine and changing faster than we can understand. In the early mornings, just before sunrise, we set out on boats down the small winding rivers through the jungle. In these early hours, the misty forest came alive with the sound of birds. Borneo is home to more than 600 species of birds, among them the majestic hornbills, colorful kingfishers, and many fascinating species that are entirely unique to Borneo. Beneath the towering canopy of ancient trees, the rainforest is dense, humid, and alive with all kinds of sounds. To spot animals in the jungle, you have to move carefully and attentively. The forest may be full of animals, but many are experts at hiding. Here you never know what may hide around the next tree or below the next leaf. The conditions in the jungle can also be very difficult to deal with. Swarms of mosquitoes, constant heat, and pouring rain are just some of the things you will encounter every single day. The Bornean orangutan is certainly one of Borneo's most famous inhabitants. Their calm and relaxed behavior is fascinating to observe. The orangutans live solitary, eating mostly fruits and leaves. And orangutan mothers take care of their children until they reach 8 years of age. That is longer than any other mammal on Earth. The arthropods are a group of animals that includes insects, spiders, and millipedes. They are by far the most diverse and abundant group of animals in the rainforest, and they are also an incredibly important group. Without them, the whole ecosystem would collapse. These small creatures have many different roles, for example as pollinators, as predators, as decomposers of organic matter, and they also serve as food for countless of other animals, such as birds. The wide river offers a different perspective on the rainforest. Without the dense vegetation of the jungle, the river is the ideal place to spot and observe wildlife, such as primates in the trees, flocks of flying foxes passing overhead, or even crocodiles at the riverbank. Proboscis monkeys can only be found on Borneo. Just like the orangutans, they feed on leaves and fruit. These primates can be spotted clumsily leaping between trees and often crashing loudly into the bushes below. We arrived to Borneo only shortly after a period of immense rainfall and unusually high levels of flooding. The forests along the river remained flooded for the duration of our trip, so very often we had to travel through the forests on boats. Drifting slowly through the trees was a surreal experience. It felt like a completely different world in the flooded jungle. Seasonal flooding is natural in the lowland floodplain forests of Borneo, and it is vital for this ecosystem. Deep in the jungle lies a truly massive cave system. Some animals have adapted to a life in the dark and fill the caves with life. Thousands of swiftlets build their nests in the cave, and an unimaginable number of bats sleep here during the day. At the bottom of the cave, a community of strange arthropods managed to make a living by feeding off the feces of the bats and birds, and also on each other. When the sun goes down, millions of bats leave the cave in swarms in order to hunt for insects during the night. However, hungry birds of prey, such as eagles and hawks, use this opportunity to catch themselves some bats for dinner. At night, the jungle changes into a whole different world. Creatures awaken that have been asleep during the day and begin to fill the forest with their sounds. When you explore the jungle in the darkness of the night, you will find a fascinating diversity of animals that remain hidden when the sun is shining. Just behind the forest reserve that you have seen in this video, many miles of palm oil plantations now stretch across land that used to be ancient rainforest just a few decades ago. More than half of Borneo's rainforests were lost in the last 5 decades alone, primarily due to the expansion of palm oil plantations and extraction of tropical timber. However, not all is lost. And today, the rate of deforestation has slowed substantially, although not entirely. Conservation efforts, reforestation projects, and sustainable forest management offer hope for the amazing biodiversity that lives in the rainforests of Borneo.